Top 10 Ancient Weapons and Machines Too Powerful to Exist. History tells us that ancient civilizations were primitive, limited by stone, bronze, and superstition. We are taught that true technological power belongs only to the modern age. Yet hidden within the oldest texts on Earth are descriptions of machines so advanced, so destructive, that they challenge everything we believe about the past. These were not simple weapons. They were instruments of annihilation, machines capable of reshaping landscapes, erasing cities, and terrifying even the gods said to wield them. Across continents and cultures, the same themes appear again and again: flying craft, energy weapons, sound-based destruction, and devices whose power demanded moral restraint. These machines were feared, controlled, and ultimately lost to time. What follows are 10 ancient weapons and machines described in historical records that appear far too powerful for the eras in which they supposedly existed. 1. The Vimana, Ancient India. The Vimana stands as the most detailed and disturbing ancient machine ever recorded. Described extensively in the Mahabharata, Ramayana, and later technical texts such as the Vimanas Shastra, Vimanas were flying vehicles constructed of metal, capable of vertical ascent, hovering, and long-distance travel through the air. These were not symbolic chariots of the gods. They were piloted machines used in warfare. Ancient texts describe Vimanas engaging in aerial combat, firing beams of light, launching flaming projectiles, and deploying sound-based weapons capable of disabling enemy craft. One account describes a Vimana weapon that produced a blinding flash, brighter than 1,000 suns, followed by heat so intense that entire cities were reduced to ash. The aftermath included poisoned water, falling hair, and long-lasting sickness, effects chillingly similar to radiation exposure. Vimanas were equipped with mirrors designed to deflect enemy attacks, cloaking mechanisms to render them invisible, and complex control systems requiring trained pilots. The texts even warn that improper use could destroy the operator along with the target. If Vimanas were imaginary, they are imagined with the precision of engineers, not poets. 2. The Brahmastra, Ancient India. Among all ancient weapons, none inspired more fear than the Brahmastra. This was not a blade or projectile, but a weapon of absolute destruction. Activated through sacred knowledge, the Brahmastra unleashed energy capable of destroying entire regions. Ancient texts describe its effects in horrifying detail: intense heat, blinding light, scorched earth, poisoned rivers, and lifeless silence. Survivors suffered lingering illness, and land remained barren for generations. The Brahmastra was considered so dangerous that even its users were warned never to deploy it against civilians or without just cause. Once released, it could not be recalled. What kind of ancient weapon requires ethical restrictions similar to modern nuclear doctrine? 3. The Astra, fire weapon of the gods. The Astra was a specialized energy weapon described as producing unstoppable fire. Unlike conventional flames, it could not be extinguished with water and spread with unnatural speed. Used primarily in aerial warfare, this weapon burned entire formations and turned battlefields into infernos. Ancient accounts suggest it could be guided toward its target, almost as if intelligent. Many researchers compare the Astra to advanced incendiary or plasma-based weapons, technology we only began to approximate in the modern era. 4. The Narayanaastra, self-guiding weapon. The Narayanaastra was a terrifying autonomous weapon. According to ancient texts, it increased in power based on resistance. The more an enemy fought back, the stronger the weapon became. Entire armies were wiped out because they resisted instead of surrendering. Only those who laid down their weapons and showed submission survived. This concept, a weapon that responds dynamically to human behavior, resembles modern discussions around artificial intelligence and autonomous warfare. 5. The Pashupatastra, weapon of absolute obliteration. Described as a weapon that could destroy creation itself, the Pashupatastra was said to function on land, sea, air, or against celestial targets. Its use was so restricted that only a handful of individuals in history were even taught how to invoke it. Texts warn that misuse could result in the annihilation of the world. Whether metaphorical or literal, the fear surrounding this weapon suggests power far beyond conventional arms. 6. Greek fire, Byzantine Empire. Unlike many ancient weapons lost to myth, Greek fire was historically documented and terrifyingly real. Deployed by the Byzantine navy, this substance burned on water, clung to surfaces, and could not be extinguished by conventional means. Entire fleets were destroyed in moments. The formula was so secret that it died with its creators, despite desperate attempts by enemies to replicate it. Greek fire represents a level of chemical warfare far ahead of its time. 7. The Antikathoa mechanism, ancient Greece. While not a weapon in the traditional sense, the Antikathoa mechanism reveals that ancient civilizations possessed mechanical knowledge previously thought impossible. This complex device could predict eclipses, planetary movements, and astronomical cycles with astonishing accuracy. Some researchers believe it may have been part of a navigation or targeting system, an essential component for advanced warfare. If ancient societies could build machines like this, what else did they know? 8. The Mukyohyot, Aztec civilization. This obsidian-bladed weapon was capable of inflicting catastrophic damage. Spanish accounts describe it decapitating horses and slicing through armor. Obsidian is sharper than steel at the molecular level, and the Mukyohyot exploited this property with surgical brutality. Its design focused on dismemberment rather than immediate death, making it a weapon of terror as much as combat. 9. Assyrian siege engines. The Assyrians mastered psychological warfare through massive machines designed to crush cities. Their siege engines shattered walls, burned fortifications, and turned resistance into hopelessness. These machines combined engineering, intimidation, and logistics in a way unmatched until modern mechanized warfare. 10. The sound weapons of Jericho. The biblical account of Jericho describes walls collapsing after sustained sound vibrations. While often dismissed as symbolic, modern science recognizes that certain frequencies can destabilize structures. Some researchers believe the event may describe an early form of acoustic warfare, using resonance to destroy fortifications without physical contact. The uncomfortable conclusion. When viewed individually, these machines can be dismissed as myth, exaggeration, or coincidence. But taken together, they reveal a pattern too consistent to ignore. Ancient civilizations across the world described advanced machines, energy weapons, autonomous systems, and aerial warfare, thousands of years before modern technology. Either our ancestors collectively imagined the same impossible machines, or history has forgotten something crucial. Perhaps these weapons were too powerful. Perhaps they nearly destroyed humanity once before. And perhaps that is why they were buried, not just in the ground but in myth. If even a fraction of these ancient weapons were real, then history is not what we were taught. The past may not be behind us. It may be buried beneath lies, lost knowledge, and forbidden technology. So the real question is this: what else has been erased from human memory? If you want to explore the secrets they didn't want you to find, if you want to uncover ancient knowledge hidden beneath myth and time, subscribe now, because the next story may change everything you think you know about our origins. Leave a comment below and tell us, which ancient weapon disturbed you the most, and should humanity ever rediscover it?